This is part one of our trip from Sacramento, California to Fredericksburg, Texas. Our first stop will be in Lost Hills, California, which is just outside of Bakersfield. Just after we got set up at Lost Hills KOA campground, it started to hail and rain. The rain and hail did not last very long. The sun came out and we went out for a walk and enjoyed the rest of the day. We left Lost Hills and headed towards San Dimas, California to visit Susie's cousin. During that part of our trip, we were driving over the Grapevine and we were met with a lot of traffic due to an accident on the highway. In San Dimas, we stayed at Benelli Bluffs Resort, which is a nice campground that overlooks a small lake. And from there, we drove in to see Susie's cousin and visit with other cousins in Rancho Cucamonga, just a few miles away.
Taking our walk. There's Lee.
Whenever we go to Southern California, we try to stop at the Hat, which has really good hot pastrami's. The original Hat was in Alhambra, California, where I grew up, and my family and I would always go to the Hat to get a pastrami, which was only a few blocks away from our home in Alhambra, California. From San Dimas, California, we headed towards Arizona, where we were going to stay along the Colorado River right at the California-Arizona border. Our next destination was Surprise, Arizona, which is near Phoenix, where we were going to park the trailer and stay with our friends Mark and Colleen. And while we were there, we were visiting other friends that we knew when we lived in Arizona between 2009 and 2016. Our next stop was Wilcox, Arizona, where we stayed at a KOA campground. You'll notice we stayed at quite a few KOAs, and we've come to really like the KOA campgrounds. This one was really, really nice. On our way, we hit some more rain, and when we arrived, it was raining, but it stopped just long enough for us to get set up before the next storm rolled in. After so many stops and setting up and tearing down, you would think we'd have CD, camping dysfunction, but we don't. But here's a cue.
I used to get excited before our RV trips, but then I started having issues. Camping issues. Like I just lost that spark for pulling into the spot for the night. No matter how much I wanted to, I just couldn't get into it. And it wasn't just affecting me. It was upsetting her, too.
Every time we tried to go RVing, it was the same thing. No, literally, the exact same thing. over and over again. Where's the excitement, the butterflies, the feeling you can't wait to rip open your RV door and explore? Not here.
I knew it was CD, but I was too embarrassed to talk about it.
Camping dysfunction, or CD, can affect any RVer, anytime, anywhere. But you no longer have to suffer in silence. You can take action.
That's when I found out about Harvest Host. It's a network of...
Our next stop was Las Cruces, New Mexico. Along this leg of our trip, we hit a lot more rain and even had some hail. Once we were in New Mexico, we ran into another heavy rainstorm that resulted in hail, so we pulled over to a rest stop and waited it out for a little while. Our next stop was in Las Cruces, New Mexico at Hacienda RV Resort. This was a one-night stop before we continued our trip. We passed through El Paso, Texas, before continuing on to our next stop. Our next stop was Fort Stockton, Texas, and we stayed at the Hilltop RV Park. Really nice park on a hill that overlooked a valley with a lot of metal sculptures displayed along the road and in the park. On Wednesday, April 3rd, we reached Fredericksburg, Texas, where we'll be staying at the Vineyards RV Park for 7 nights, leaving on Wednesday, April 10th, and staying at this park to watch the solar eclipse that will take place around 1:30 p.m. on Monday, April 8th. The solar eclipse is coming on Monday, April 8th, but the weather is not looking good. Looks like it might be cloudy or might rain. So stay tuned for a continuation of our Texas road trip and the solar eclipse.